Welcome to the Chop Seat, where Braves country meets the big leagues. Your host Vic is here to break down everything from truest part to the top of the standings across the league. From walk-offs to wild trades, this is your seat for everything baseball, but a heavy dose of chop. So grab your glove and settle in, because the Chop Seat is open.
Welcome to the Chop Seat, your favorite place for Braves, baseball, and the rest of the league. I'm your host, Vic, and today is Friday, October 10th. We have two division series that have already been wrapped up. Two teams have punched their tickets for their championship series, and we got two series that are going into Game 5s. There's going to be a Game 5 tonight. There's going to be a Game 5 tomorrow night. We're going to preview those games, and we're going to catch up with all the games that happened between now and last Monday that just passed. We're also going to talk. We don't have too much about the Braves, honestly. Not too much going on when it comes to the Braves. So our Tomahawk Take segment is going to be pretty short. It might be the shortest one yet. So without further ado, let's get into the first segment.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes, where we usually, if this is the first time you're listening to Tomahawk, well, to the Chop Seat, Tomahawk Takes is where we talk about the previous Braves series. Of course, the Braves are off in Cancun, Acapulco, whatever you want to call it. There's no Braves series. But now, during the offseason, we're going to talk about what's going on in the Braves. You know, when it comes to Braves news, anything that's Braves related, that's what we're going to talk about when it comes to Tomahawk Takes. But Tomahawk Takes is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code CHOPSEAT20 for $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. You want to go catch Game 5 tonight of the American League Division Series. Still early. You can still get your tickets. Go to SeatGeek. Put in code CHOPSEAT20. You're going to save $20 off your first purchase. You want to catch the NLCS Game 5 tomorrow night. Use code CHOPSEAT20 to save $20 off your first purchase. If you're not into baseball, I get it. You want to go watch another sporting event, another concert, or a show, use code CHOPSEAT20 on SeatGeek for $20 off your first purchase. That's all for the promo. I sound like a wrestler giving out promos and stuff. I'm out of breath. Look at that. That's the asthma. I'm already out of breath. 2 minutes in. About to be 3 minutes in. I'm already out of breath. That's ridiculous. I got to start taking my pump, man. Anyways, when it comes to Braves news, all I have, and this is why I said it's the shortest Tomahawk Takes probably of this first season of the Chop Seat. This is all I have. This is via Carlos Collazo on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. He tweeted this out yesterday afternoon. It was that the Braves have parted ways with Director of Pitching Development Paul Davis. Davis has been with the Braves since 2020. He led one of the most consistent pitching pipelines in the game with names like Spencer Strider, Spencer Schwellenbach, and A.J. Smith-Shawver, among others. So the Braves have parted ways with him. Now, I don't know much about Paul Davis, so I'm going to be honest. I don't know if you do. If you do, enlighten me a little bit. But what we do know is that these are some very, very good arms, very talented arms. But all of them have had pitching issues, injury issues. I mean, they've all gotten hurt. And you got to wonder if that's the reason why they parted ways with him. They want to go have a change in philosophy. You know, I don't know. That's all I can speculate on. We do know, and that's the obvious thing, that the Braves pitching staff has been injured way too much during the last 2 years. This year, the Braves lost their whole starting rotation, which is crazy to say. So maybe they're having a change of, philosophy. Hopefully it does seem like he did take care of business, though, when it comes to developing guys. Obviously, like I said, Smith-Shawver, Schwellenbach, Spencer Strider, really, really good, solid arms. I mean, Spencer Strider was unbelievable those first couple of years before the injury. So, I mean, hopefully whoever they get to fill that role is able to still develop, the pitching that we've had for many years, and they continue to develop these young arms. But hopefully we're able to avoid these injuries, man, because these injuries are a killer. It's just too many injuries going around when it comes to the Braves pitching rotation. So anyways, again, that was the news. Paul Davis, the Braves have parted ways with him. He's been with the Braves since 2020. He was the director of pitching development. And this is not Braves related. I'll just throw it in here real quick. Let's make the time take a little bit longer. But this was from Bob Nightingale. This was about 20 minutes ago now. I saw it. I think I saw it earlier throughout the day. I got a notification. Might have been from ESPN or MLB. But he tweeted out, MLB suspends Padres infielder. Oh, my God. Jose Iglesias, 1 game. And they fined Padres shortstop Xander Bogaerts for the conduct towards the umpiring crew after losing the wild card round against the Cubs. These dudes wanted all the smoke after that game after they lost that very close game against the Cubs. Xander Bogaerts, obviously, he got called out on strikes. Terrible call. The ball was almost at the dirt. That was ball 4. Obviously, they called it the other way. Next year, we won't have to worry about that. All you got to do is do the head tap, challenge that play real quick in the ABS system. But that's next year. That's not this year. This year, we obviously saw a lot of blown calls. So yeah, they were pissed off after the game, and they went at it. They had to hold some of these guys back. But yeah, that was I guess the suspensions that were handed down and the fines. So anyway, that's all for Tomahawk Takes, man. Let's get into the real action, guys. Let's get into the real action. Let's see what happened around the league when it comes to the division series.
It's time for the MLB.
It's time for the MLB, where we talk about the action from around the league. And we had 4 division series. 2 have already been wrapped up. There's 2 that are going into Game 5. Let's look at the action starting on Monday. Monday night, we had 2 games. 2 games in the National League side. We had the Chicago Cubs at the Milwaukee Brewers. This was Game 2. Remember, the Brewers had won the first game. Guess what? They win the second game. For the Cubs, it was Shota Imanaga. He goes 2 2/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, all those earned. No walks, 3 Ks. He gave up 2 homers. He was going up against Aaron Ashby. For the Milwaukee Brewers, he goes inning and 2/3, 3 hits allowed, 3 runs, all those earned, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. He gave up 1 homer in the top of the first. The Cubs, they get an early lead, a 3-run homer by Seiya Suzuki. See you later. That makes it 3-0 Chicago. Bottom of the first, though, the Brewers, bro, this team is amazing. They answer right back. Andrew Vaughn, he hits a 3-run homer of his own. Ball game tied. That's it. Bottom of the third, Braves legend William Contreras, he hits a solo jack. He does the call my jack celebration. You saw that, right? Hits the ball. He's like making a call to the bullpen, trolling his former manager, Craig Counsell. That makes it 4-3 Milwaukee. Bottom of the 4th, Jackson Churrill. We thought he was going to be out of the game. Remember, he had that. They said that he had the hamstring, something related to the hamstring, but he was in the game. He is able to hit an 0-2. Danny Valencia, 101.4 mile per hour fastball out to center field. That makes it 7-3 Milwaukee. The bullpen holds it down for the rest of the game. That's the ball game. 7-3 victory for the Milwaukee Brewers. And after this, they lead the series 2-0. Then we had Game 3. Game 3 was heading into Chicago Wrigley Field. That was on Wednesday. The Cubs end up winning this game 4-3 to avoid the sweep and stay alive in the series. For the Brewers, it was Quinn, Priester. He goes only 2/3, 3 hits, 4 runs. All those earned, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. He was going up against Jameson Taillon for the Cubs, who won 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. All those earned, 1 walk and 3 Ks. Top of the first, the Brewers get started. Sal Frelick, he hits a sac fly that makes it 1-0. Bottom of the first. It seems like that's the theme in this series. One team scores, the other team answers right back immediately. Michael Busch, this guy's been hot. You're going to hear his name a lot during this recap. Michael Busch hits a solo homer to right center field. That ties up the ball game 1-1. PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong, he gets a 2-run single. That makes it 3-1 Cubs. Ian Happ, he then scores on a wild pitch. 4-1 Cubs. Top of the fourth, Jake the man Bowers, he hits an RBI single that makes it 4-2. Top of the seventh, Jake Bowers, he strikes again. He hits a solo homer that makes it 4-3. But that's all the Brewers are able to get. Brad Keller gets the 4-out save. He holds it down. The Cubs survive another night. They're still in it. They're gonna play in Game 4, which happened yesterday. We're going to recap that. But remember, the series was 2-1 now in favor of the Milwaukee Brewers. And yesterday, the Cubs stay alive. They're going to be heading back to Milwaukee now for a Game 5 because the Cubs win Game 4 6-0. It was Freddie Peralta on the mound for the Brewers. 4 innings for him, 3 hits, 3 runs. All 3 of those earned, 2 walks, 6 Ks. He gives up a homer. Matthew Boyd was on the mound for the Cubs. He did his thing. He goes 4 2/3, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 6 Ks. Bottom of the first, a big homer by Ian Happ. It's a 3-run homer at that. That gives the Cubs an early 3-0 lead. Bottom of the 6th, Matt Shaw. He adds to the lead with an RBI single. 4-0 Cubs. Bottom of the 7th, the Cubs fans have been waiting for this guy to have a big hit. Here he goes. Kyle Tucker, solo homer to center field. That makes it 5-0 Cubs. And the red hot Michael Busch, he hits a solo shot in the bottom of the 8th. That makes it 6-0 Cubs. That's the ball game. Series tied at 2. They're going to be heading to Milwaukee. And talking about Milwaukee, the game is going to be tomorrow night. Game 5, TBS. 8:08 p.m. Eastern start time. Both started. I don't know who's starting, but again, Game 5 is going to be tomorrow night, Saturday on TBS, 8:08 p.m. Eastern start time. Cubs, Brewers, Game 5. Who do you got? Let me know in the comments who you think is going to go away with this victory and punch their ticket into the National League Championship Series. Next series. We're going to stay in the National League side. It's the Los Angeles Dodgers at the Philadelphia Phillies. Remember, Dodgers won Game 1 on Saturday. Monday, we had Game number 2. It was Blake Snell going for the Dodgers. He went 6 innings, 1 hit allowed, no runs, 4 walks, 9 Ks. Phenomenal start by him. Jesus Luzardo, phenomenal as well. 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. Those were both earned. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Roki Sasaki, he was a key man in this one. He gets the 1-out save. Save number 2 of the postseason for him. Because the Dodgers win this one 4-3. Big game, man. All these games were close. All these games were tight. Here is the action. This is how it got started. Top of the 7th, no score. Teo Eascor. El Chino, he singles. Freddie Freeman, he doubles. Orion Kirkland comes in for Jesus Luzardo. He gets Tommy Edman striking out, swinging. Kike Hernandez with a slow chopper to Trey Turner. Throw home is not in time. Oscar Hernandez sneaks in. The play is challenged. The call is upheld. It was close, very close. That makes it 1-0 Dodgers. Max Muncy pinch hitting for Miggy Rojas. He draws a walk. Then Andy Pajes, he pops out to first baseman Bryce Harper. That's 2 outs. Bases loaded for Will Smith. He is able to hit a 2 RBI single. Will Smith in Philly, the Fresh Prince representing. That makes it 3-0 Dodgers. Matt Strong comes in to face Shohei Ohtani. He singles out to right field. That makes it 4-0 Dodgers. Then on the bottom of the 8th, Max Kepler hits a pinch hit triple. Trey Turner drives him in. That makes it 4-1 Dodgers. Bottom of the 9th, with 2 on, Nicholas Castellanos. He hits a 2 RBI double. That makes it 4-3 LA. Just leading by 1 now. No outs. They get the tying run on third, winning run on first with 2 outs. Roki comes into face Trey Turner. He grounds out to second baseman Tommy Edman. He throws to first. Freddie Freeman with a crazy pick to stay in front of that ball. That is out number 3. That's the ball game. It was a very dramatic finish. And also they executed I think it was a bat or 2 before this. They executed a perfect wheel play, man. Perfect wheel play. You can't even draw it up better than that. Mookie goes over the third from short. Max Muncy gets the bunt. Gets the ball, fielding the bunt, throws to third, perfect dart. Man, it was just a perfect wheel play. You can't teach it better than that. But, I mean, listen, this game was won on defense, clutch defense. Usually the World Series is won on clutch defense. If you're making a lot of mistakes, these teams are going to take advantage of it, but the Dodgers are able to hold it down with these defensive plays at the very end. So the Dodgers, after winning this game, they go up 2-0, heading to LA. Just in need of one more win to head into the National League Championship Series. Game 3 was on Wednesday. Aaron Nola was on the mound for the Phillies. He goes 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 3 Ks. Ranger Suarez came in and piggybacked off of him. He went 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 4 Ks. He gets the win in this one because the Phillies are able to mash some homers, mash some hits. They win this one 8-2. For the Dodgers, it was Yoshi Yamamoto who goes 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. All those earned, 1 walk, 2 Ks, 1 homer allowed. Bottom of the third, Tommy Edman, he hits a solo shot. That makes it 1-0 Dodgers. Top of the fourth, the Phillies, they answer right back. Solo homer by Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber's incoming. The radar sounds off. He ties the ball game 1-1. They would have scored 2 more runs later on in the inning. That makes it 3-1 Phillies. Top of the 8th, the Phillies, they score 5 in this inning. JT Realmuto with a solo homer, Trey Turner with a 2-run single, and another Schwarber. The radar goes off again. That was a 2-run homer. In that time, that makes it 8-1 Phillies, and all of those were off of Clayton Kershaw, future Hall of Famer. He goes 2 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 3 walks, and again, he gave up those 2 homers. The Phillies are able to stay alive and avoid the sweep and win Game 3. Again, a final score of 8-2 with a 2-1 series lead for the Dodgers heading into Game 4. Yesterday, Game 4, another dramatic one, a dramatic finish, a big mistake done by the Phillies at the end. This game was started by Christopher Sanchez, who went 6 1/3, 5 hits, 1 run. That was earned, 1 walk, 5 Ks. Going up against Tyler Glass now, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs. Put up some donuts there, 3 walks and 8 strikeouts. Top of the 7th. Listen, it was a very tight game, as you can tell by the score. It was a 2-1 victory by the Dodgers. Top of the 7th, with Nicholas Castellanos, he hits a double off of Emmett Sheehan. Bottom of the 7th, I'm bugging out. He hits an RBI double. That makes it 1-0 Phillies, right? Bottom of the 7th, with 1 out and 2 on, Rob Thompson, topper. He brings in his closer, Joan Duran. He gets Andy Pages to ground out. That makes it 2 outs with runners on 2nd and 3rd. Shohei Ohtani is due up. He's intentionally walked by Joan Duran. Mookie Betts comes up with the bases loaded. Full count. This is what you always imagine doing. What does Mookie do? He draws a walk. He takes a 101 mile per hour fastball high. He walks with the bases loaded. That ties up the ball game 1-1. Ball game. Roki Sasaki. He comes in relief. He goes 3 innings, guys. He goes 3 innings. He pitches from the 8th inning to the 10th inning. He holds it down. Clean innings all around. Bottom of the 11th, Jesus Luzardo. He came in relief. 2 runners. He gets the 2 runners. 2 runners get on. It makes it 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. Orion Kerkering, he comes in a tough spot. Season on the line. You got to call it what it is. Season's on the line. You're on the road. He walks Kike Hernandez. That loads up the bases for Andy Pages. Remember, bases loaded. 2 outs. Andy Pages at the plate. He grounds one back to the mound. You can't draw it up better than this. Back to the mound. Orion Kerkering, he cannot get a grip on the ball cleanly. Can't get a grip on the ball cleanly. He then picks it up and he fires home, but he fires wide, and it was already late. He had time to throw to first. JT Realmuto was pointing him, go to first. He's probably only 1. But he does not throw to first. He throws home. The throw is wide. Goes to the backstop. Hai-Sung Kim, he scores. That's the ball game. That's how the Phillies are eliminated. Listen, Phillies are our rivals. But that's a bad way to end the season, guys. That's a bad way to end the season. Part of me feels bad. I do feel bad for Kerrigan. I do feel bad for him. For the fan base, not so much. I don't feel bad with the fan base. I got to be honest. You guys are always trolling and always acting like y'all going to win. Y'all haven't won since 2008, bro. Y'all always talking junk. At least we got ones in 2021, man. Ours is still fresh. We're about to hit that 5-year limit, though, where you can't be bringing it up anymore. Next year's going to be 5 years. After that, we can't bring this one up until we win another one, the 2021 championship. But Phillies, man. Yes, you guys have had our number in the NLDS for the last, obviously not this year, but in 22 and 23? In 22 and 23, you guys eliminate us. I get it. You feel some type of way, but listen, but if you don't win at all, it doesn't really matter. So the fan base, I don't feel bad for, but Orion Kerrigan, I definitely feel bad for him, man. That was bad, man. That's a bad way. But the good thing was his teammates were consoling him immediately right after the play. His teammates were consoling him. JT, Realmuto, I believe it was Nicholas Castellanos. He came in from right field. The manager, Rob Thompson, also spoke with him right there on the field. So I do like, I love that from the Phillies. I did love that from the Phillies. They still show them love. Obviously, you got to be upset at that moment, but you still got to show your teammates some love. You do spend the whole entire season together, so eventually you guys are gonna feel like family. So again, credit to those guys for showing him love, and hopefully he's able to just get away from that a little bit, man. Get away from that a little bit. He also spoke after the game, Orion Kerrigan, and he answered those tough questions. So I give him credit for that too. Lots of credit for him for keeping it real, taking responsibility on that play. But yeah, so that is how the Phillies got eliminated. That is how the Dodgers punched their ticket to the National League Championship Series. They advanced to the NLCS for the 8th time in 13 years. These guys have been a staple. We got to be honest. We got to call it what it is. As much as you can't stand the Dodgers like myself, they are doing things the right way, and that is evidence of that. So that is the first team to punch their ticket into the National League Championship Series. We're going to have to stay and keep an eye on tomorrow night's game to see who's going to be facing them in the NLCS. But now let's go to the American League side of things, because a lot of you guys are American League team fans. So we're going to head into that. It was Game 3 on Tuesday night. New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays. Remember, the Blue Jays won the first 2 games at home in Toronto. They were looking for the sweep. They're in the BX now, though. It's time to get Boogie in the Boogie down Bronx. Shane Bieber was on the mound. He goes 2 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs. 2 of those were earned. He had 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Going up against Carlos Rodon, trying to put the team on his back. He goes 2 1/3, 6 hits, 6 runs. Definitely don't put the team on his back. 2 walks, 2 Ks. He gave up a homer. Top of the first. Gave up that homer to who? Guess who? Vladdy Guerrero Jr. 2-run homer. That's the 3rd of the division series for him. Bottom of the first, though, Giancarlo Stanton, he hits an RBI single. That cuts the lead in half. 2-1 lead for the Blue Jays there. Top of the 3rd, though, Toronto, they score 4. Varsho, Clement, Santander, they all have RBI singles in the inning. That makes it 6-1 Toronto. You're thinking the Yankees are done, bro. They're cooked. It's over. Yankee fans are in the group chats. They're like, bro, I can't stand this anymore. This is terrible. Bottom of the 3rd, Yankees, they get 2 runs back on a Judge RBI double and a Stanton sac fly. That makes it 6-3. Bottom of the 4th, after an error and a walk, Aaron Judge with a huge 3-run homer off the foul pole. Yankee Stadium was jumping. The BX was burning. The Bronx Bombers are back. Game is tied up at 6. And then on the bottom of the 5th, Jazz Chisholm Jr., he hits a homer. That gives the Yankees a first lead of the series. It makes it 7-6 Yankees. They're able to score 2 more runs later on in the ballgame. That makes it 9-6. Bednar, I forgot his first name. David Bednar. Is it David Bednar? I can't think of it now. Bednar, he gets the save. That's a 9-6 victory for the Yankees. They avoid the sweep. That makes the series 2-1 in favor of Toronto. They were hyped going into Wednesday because Yankee fans were saying, you let us win this one. Blue Jays got a bullpen game the next day. Things are looking pretty for us. bullpen game. We're gonna mash. We're gonna tie the series up, and we're gonna head to Toronto, and we're gonna shut things down up there. That was the mindset for the Yankee fans. You can't blame them for thinking that way. It was Louis Varland starting game number 1. He was the opener. Remember, he gave up the shot to Judge previous night. He goes an inning in a third, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, going up against Cam Schlittler, who goes 6 in a third, 8 hits, 4 runs, 2 of those earned, no walks, 2 strikeouts. It was a few years back. Blue Jays would have came into New York City saying no Diddy. No Diddy. But they come in saying no Schlittler, bro. No Schlittler, because Vladdy Jr., he gets the scoring started with an RBI single. That makes it 1-0. Toronto in the top of the first. Bottom of the third, though, Ryan McMahon, he ties it up with a solo homer to right field. Ball game tied. 1-1. Top of the fifth. George Springer, he gives the Blue Jays the lead. Get that lead right back with a sac fly. Makes it 2-1. Toronto on the top of the seventh. This is where things get ugly for the Yankees. Nathan Lukes, after a Jazz Chisholm error, he drives in 2 with an RBI single to center field. 4-1 Toronto. Top of the 8th, Miles Straw, he adds another run with an RBI single. Beautifully put. He just poked one out to right field. The ball drops. That makes it 5-1 Toronto. Bottom of the 9th, the Yankees, they score 1. Thanks to Jason Dominguez, pinch hit double the Martian. He came in last minute. And then Judge, he singled him in. That makes it 5-2. But Jeff Hoffman is able to get the 4-out save. He gets the final outs. That is how the Yankees are eliminated once again. The Yankees come up short. No championships since 2009. Yankee fans are going crazy, bro. They're coming after Cashman. They're coming after Steinbrenner. They're coming after Boone. They want the whole thing teared down. But that's how they lose. And the celebration, it was epic, bro. Celebration for the Toronto Blue Jays was epic. Hey, and it's well deserved. You get beat at your own crib, you can't even say nothing, bro. Yankees, you can't say nothing. You have David Ortiz, Big Bobby, on the interview with Vladdy. They're saying, the Yankees lose. The Yankees lose on live television. Bro, they were trolling heavy. It was just crazy. But anyways, congrats to the Blue Jays. They're in the American League Championship Series. They punched their ticket, and they're awaiting the winners from the Detroit and Seattle series that we're going to get into right now. And remember, the series was tied up at 1 going into Detroit for Game 3 on Tuesday night. It was Logan Gilbert on the mound. He goes 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, no walks, 7 Ks. Very, very good performance by him. Went up against Jack Flaherty, who went 3 1/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned, 3 walks, 6 Ks, 1 homer given up. Top of the third, the Mariners go up 2-0 on a J.P. Crawford single and an error by left fielder Riley Green, and then an RBI single by Randy Arozarena. Again, 2-0 Mariners. Top of the fourth, Eugenio. Let's just call him Gino, bro. Gino Suarez hits a solo shot to left center field. That makes it 3-0 Seattle. J.P. Crawford, he hits a solo homer later on. So the big dumper Kyle Raleigh, 2-run homer in the top of the 9th. It was an 8-1 Seattle Mariners lead at that point. The Tigers, they scored 3 in the bottom of the 9th, but it's too late. That's too little, too late. It's a 8-4 win for the Seattle Mariners. They end up leading the series 2-1 heading into Wednesday night. It was Bryce Miller on the mound for the Mariners. He goes 4 1/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 2 Ks, going up against Casey Mize, who went 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 6 Ks. Looking to win the series. By the bottom of the 5th, the Mariners were already up 3-0. But the bottom of the 5th is when the Tigers, they roar. They wake up. Dylan Dingler with an RBI double. Jahmai Jones with an RBI double as well. Javi Baez with an RBI single. If you heard right, that's 3 RBIs. It was 3-3. Tied ball game. Bottom of the 6th, Riley Green hits a homer to the right center field. Detroit Tigers, they take the lead 4-3 ball game. Zach McKinstry with an RBI single That makes it 5-3. And then Javi Baez with a big 2-run homer. That makes it 7-3. Detroit, bottom of the 7th. Gleyber Torres, Yankees legend. He hits a solo homer of his own. That makes it 8-3. Detroit, they're able to score another one later on. 9-3. Victory for the Detroit Tigers. They avoid losing the series at home. And now the series is tied up 2-2. And guess when game number 5 is going to be? Game number 5 is going to be tonight, guys. Game number 5 is going to be tonight. And I got to look for the notes. I don't know where I put the notes at. This is bad podcasting by me, bro. This is terrible. Yeah, this is terrible, guys. The thing is, where do I have? Oh, here it is. Here it is. No, I didn't get that. That's the problem. Anyways, I did write this somewhere. Anyways, I know from the top of my head, of course, here it is. It's Eric Skubal going for the Tigers. Okay, let's start all over. Tonight, game 5 in the American League Division Series against the Detroit Tigers at the Seattle Mariners. They're back in Seattle for a game 5. It's going to be Tarek Skubal on the mound. This postseason, he's 1-0 with a 1.84 ERA and 14 2/3 innings pitched, 23 strikeouts for him. He's going up against George Kirby, who has 5 innings pitched with a 3.60 ERA and 8 strikeouts this postseason. Tonight, it's going to be 8:08 p.m. Eastern start time on Fox. 8:08 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. Okay, so here we go. This is a question I want to ask. Detroit Tigers at the Seattle Mariners. Game 5 tonight, Friday, 8:08 p.m. Eastern Start Time on Fox. Tarek Skubal on the mound, going up against George Kirby. Decisive Game 5. Who's going to punch their ticket to the American League Championship Series to face the Toronto Blue Jays? Let me know in the comments. Who do you got? Detroit Tigers with Tarek Skubal, or you got the Seattle Mariners with George Kirby? Let me know in the comments. And that is how we're going to wrap up this MLB segment on today's episode. And before you wrap up, Chopsy goes 2 for 2 so far in this round. Listen, I went flawless with the Yankees Blue Jays series. I did say Toronto in 4. If you don't believe me, go check my other video. It's so short, it's floating around on YouTube. I went Toronto in 4. That came out to be true. I had gone Dodgers in 5. They did it a little bit earlier. They did it in 4. So that was another correct pick by the Chopsy. Now, this is where it gets crazy. I had the Brewers in 4, but that's going to game 5. That's going into game 5 tomorrow. So we got to wait for that one. And then I had the Seattle Mariners in 4, and that's going to 5 for tonight. So just keep that in mind. But hey, listen, the Chopsy might go 4 for 4, bro, in this round. Chopsy might go 4 for 4. So keep an eye on that. Anyways, let me bring this down. Let's quiet it down. Let's tone it down a little bit. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing love on all the platforms, man. It's been amazing to start this show from nothing. And so I got a lot of support from you guys, whether it's on the video version of the show or the audio version, or just showing love on when I throw out the shorts on all the social media platforms. I do truly appreciate that. And I truly appreciate when you guys use code CHOPSY20 on SeatGeek as well. It's very, very appreciated. And I'm glad you guys are saving your $20 off by using code CHOPSY20 on SeatGeek. So listen, have a safe weekend, guys. Make sure you keep an eye on these 2 games, 2 game 5s. And then by the time we come on Monday, actually, before we head out, I believe game 1 is already going to be wrapped up. Game 1 of the American League Championship Series. Let's just see when that is scheduled for. I believe it should be scheduled for Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Exactly, yes. It's scheduled for Sunday. American League Championship Series. It's going to be in Toronto. Toronto awaits the winner of this Seattle and Detroit game. Game 1 is going to be at 8:03 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be on Fox. So come Monday, we're already going to be talking about that game number one. We just don't know who it's going to be, if it's going to be Seattle or Detroit. That's the only thing we got to keep an eye on. But we do know that Toronto is going to be in there. So we'll be back on Monday. We're going to discuss that game. We're going to discuss Game 5 of the National League Division Series. We're going to talk about Game 5 of the American League Division Series. And then, listen, we're almost at the finish line, guys. We're almost at the finish line of the 2025 season. And hopefully by next week, we get an answer for who's going to be manager of the Atlanta Braves going forward as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Again, thank you guys for showing love. Appreciate it. I'm doing the Sammy Sosa joint. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy these postseason baseball. And we'll see you next time on The Chop Seat.